So today I'm going to be showing some love to 7 different houseplants that I own that I think are super underrated. Now, I don't see many posts about these plants. However, a lot of these have turned into some of my favorite houseplants that I own. They each have unique qualities that I love about them, but many of these are super easy to care for, they're easy to find, and they're absolutely stunning. So I'm excited to share with you today some of my favorite underrated houseplants. So if you enjoy watching planty content like plant shopping, plant tours, plant hauls, that kind of thing, please hit like on this video and subscribe for future content like this one. Also, if you guys own houseplants that you think are super underrated, and there are a lot of those out there, leave them in the comments below so we can take a look and see. So the first plant that I'm really excited to share with you guys is called a Pilea Mollis, and it's from Vietnam, and it's also called a Moon Valley friendship plant. I don't know why I never really hear about this plant because it's one of my favorites. It's so easy to care for, and the leaves are really cool looking. They are really textured, and they have little like kind of craters on it, and they're an interesting color. And the reason it's called a Moon Valley plant is because the leaves look like valleys on the surface of the moon. And it's also called a friendship plant because it pops out lots of little babies all the time, and they're easy to propagate. So it's a plant that's nice to give to your friends as gifts. It's so easy to care for. I honestly neglect this plant. It sits in my room. It doesn't get a ton of light. I just water it every once in a while when it's really dried through. And it's happy just being neglected, hanging out, looking beautiful. Sometimes I just walk by and say hello, and yes, I talk to my plants. I can walk by, say hello, and then I give its leaves a little feel because I think they're really cool. Anyways, I think this plant's really underrated, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I love this plant. The next plant I want to share with you that I don't ever hear people talk about, but I think is a really cool plant that I own, is this Japanese Sago palm. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. However, I don't hear people talking about this plant, yet I love it. It's like a little mini palm tree in my home that I get to look at every day. It originates from southern Japan, which I find interesting, and it doesn't need anything. It doesn't need, I give it, kind of moderate to medium light and a little bit of water every once in a while. And it's, again, just one of those plants that's chilling and looks cute and doesn't need much, but I really appreciate, and every time I see it, it just makes me a little bit happy. I love the way the leaves look. It's different from most of my other plants, and it has this cool base on it where the water's stored, so it doesn't need much. And it's so happy, and I think it needs some love and appreciation for being the cool plant that it is. And thank you, plant. I'm such a nerd. Just be careful, it is poisonous for humans and animals, so that's just always good to keep in mind for different houseplants. So the next plant I'm sharing is actually one that I mentioned in my wish list video for 2020 that I thought was underrated, and it's a Syngonium, or an Arrowhead plant. Now these come in a variety of colors, and I like this one. It's called Berry Illusion, and they're so underrated. I don't hear them talked about much, and they're so pretty. They can grow into a big plant, or they can stay small. And I like this one because the neon color of the leaves, and then the little bit of pink kind of in the middle. And what's not to love? It's really easy to care for, and it's so cute and pretty. The one that's on my wish list of this one is a variegated version, but I really like this one too. Anyways, such a cool plant that I think needed a little extra love. Hey, look at these leaves. How pretty is that? Anyways, really cool plant. Highly recommend. Easy to care for, doesn't need much, and looks gorgeous. So when I got this next plant, I wasn't sure if I was going to end up really liking it that much. I thought it would be hard to take care of and that it wouldn't bloom very often, but it's turned into a fantastic plant, and I absolutely love it, and it is my African violet. Now these come in a whole variety of colors where the flowers are different colors. Sometimes you can find where the leaves are variegated. So that's fun in and of itself, is to have a variety of choices. But I love this plant. Now she blooms all the time for me, and her blooms last forever. In the beginning when she was getting settled in, it took her a while, she lost her blooms and stuff, but since she got settled into her new spot, she's doing great. And the leaves are really thick and fuzzy, and as long as I keep the soil like somewhat damp and don't let her dry out all the way, she's happy as can be. She gets, you know, medium-ish light. She gets some morning light, so she doesn't need a ton of direct light, and she's really, really happy. Again, a super chill plant that I never hear about that's absolutely gorgeous. So just taking a minute to appreciate the African violet and what a great plant it is. All right, moving on to my 5th plant that I recommend, and it is Fittonia, or a nerve plant. These are really cool plants. When I got this guy, I wasn't sure at first because I thought he was like, I don't know, kind of meh, boring. I was totally wrong. He's turned into one of my favorite little guys because I literally put him like so far from the window and he is happy as can be. You know, if I don't water him enough, he like gets a little droopy, but he's not overly dramatic. He's happy. Again, another like laid back, easy plant to take care of. And you know, poor guy, I even burned one of his leaves with my candle. Not one of my better plant mom moments, but he's so happy and I love him. I can put him anywhere and he's fine. I can kind of water him as I please. He's fine. Low maintenance, easy care plant, and he's really, really cool looking. I mean, and I love when the new leaves come out because you can see where the lines are and it gets kind of thick and geometrical looking. And so they come in a variety of colors as well. They also have like a pink one or they have a red one. So these are really, really cool plants that I highly recommend that I don't hear about that often, and I just think they're awesome. So the next plant everyone has heard of, which is a pothos, and there's all different kind of pothos. You know, there's just your standard jade, there's your golden pothos, there's your marble queen pothos, there's your jade and pearls pothos, and they're all really great, easy plants, very underrated. I think that is a commonly accepted thing, that these plants are amazing. They're great starter plants, they're great forever plants. I have one back here, right here. His name is Gramps because he's my oldest plant. And I have put my plants through a lot, and he just lived through everything, especially in the beginning when I was just learning about different plants. Poor Gramps, he's been through it all. I think he needs some fertilizing or something because he's looking a little scraggly these days. I probably need to repot him. So I recently got this one, and it's a Philodendron Brasil, which kind of follows similar suit as pothos that are, you know, these are more common and they're so pretty and beautiful. It kind of looks a little bit like a neon pothos, but it has all the different colors in it. And it has, you know, the signature stripe down the middle. So underrated, easy to care for, doesn't need much, and just stunningly beautiful. I mean, this plant was what, $3.98, I think? Yeah, $3.98 from Lowe's. And look how cool that looks. Look at this leaf. Underrated, highly recommend, great plant. So my 7th and final plant that I recommend getting is a Rex Begonia. And I don't know why I don't hear about these very often, but they are so beautiful and there are so many different kinds, so you can pick the one that, you know, best suits you. I saw these and they both stopped me in my tracks and I had to get them. Their leaves are iridescent, shiny and shimmery. I don't think this light is doing it enough justice, but they are so beautiful. But this is a really cool, easy, fun plant. And then, so like I said, there's a bunch of different ones. Here's another one that I own. Look at those leaves. Let's just take a minute to appreciate and give some love to the beautiful Rex Begonia. It is stunning. Look at that. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous plants. I love both of these so much, and they look very different from each other. but they're both Rex begonias. They're really easy to care for and they're just absolutely lovely. So that's it. Those are 7 houseplants that I own that I think are super underrated, and I just wanted to show them a little bit of love today because I don't see them posted about that often, and I think they need some more love from the plant community because they're all amazing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it and sharing these plants with you. If you enjoy watching, you know, as I say, planty content, please hit like on this video and subscribe for future videos like this one. I do try to post at least once or twice a week some good planty content. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.